In today's breaking story, lawyers have been left scrambling as Donald Trump just dropped a late night bomb. That's right, Donald Trump continues to set off alarms. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, Donald Trump is a disaster, which is exactly why he's constantly setting off alarms. If it's not legal experts, it's economists.
Exactly. So they do disagree, and do think that the tariffs are harmful. But I think what the court today said is, look, if the president thinks these tariffs are so important, and today I guess he said they're going to destroy the country if you don't have the tariffs, then make that case to Congress. That's what every president has done before him. Indeed, it's what Donald Trump did the first time around when he was president. When he was first in his first administration, he went to Congress and tried to ask for tariff authority. And what they say, Jake? They said no. And so if this is so important, he's got, the part of the Congress is controlled by the Republican Party. That's his party. Go make the case there, but don't distort the Constitution in the process. And it's always, I think a fraught, heady thing when you're going in a court and saying the president did something illegal. You only want to do so in the rarest and gravest of circumstances. But Jake, as we looked at this case, that is this situation. You've got the president who's imposed the largest tax increase on American consumers since 1993 in the form of these tariffs. That's according to the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation. And he did it without Congress saying one word. That is not our constitutional structure.
And if Trump isn't undermining Congress or the Constitution, he is putting our very safety at risk.
Community that they associate with this violence for the rest of their lives. This is something that you bring with you everywhere you go. But I want to talk about another child real quick. A 22-year-old child named Thomas Fugate. He was a Trump intern that is now leading the counterterrorism and threat prevention at the Department of Homeland Security. The first thing my classmates and I recognized after the shooting at our high school that killed 17 people and injured 17 more was that this is political. And everybody who wants to tell us not to politicize the tragedy is deliberately trying to gaslight this country out of understanding that tragedies like this are as political as you can possibly get. Now, this Thomas Fugate, 22-year-old Trump intern, he fired 75% of the staff and said that the focus should not be on domestic terror or domestic shooters. The focus should be on illegals. This administration and their policies, which the Parkland shooting happened during the first Trump administration, which was a disaster of its own, this administration is directly leading to mass murder.
And now lawyers have been left scrambling after Trump just dropped a late-night bomb. That's right, take a look at today's top story. Donald Trump has just stunned legal experts and constitutional scholars with a late-night bombshell that could shake the very foundations of American democracy. In a Truth Social post late Saturday night, Trump announced he will issue an executive order requiring voter ID for every single ballot cast in America. He also pledged to effectively eliminate mail-in voting, except for those who are very ill or serving in the military overseas. This sweeping move instantly sparked alarm. Federal elections are run at the state level, not by the White House, and experts warn the president has no constitutional authority to unilaterally impose such requirements. By attempting to override state control, Trump is threatening to test the limits of presidential power like never before. The president framed the move as an effort to ensure election integrity, echoing the same false claims of widespread fraud that fueled his refusal to accept the 2020 results. For years, Trump has pushed conspiracy theories about non-citizen voting, electronic voting machines, and mail-in ballots, despite overwhelming evidence that fraud is exceedingly rare. Legal analysts are already sounding the alarm, calling Trump's order a direct assault on the Constitution and predicting an avalanche of lawsuits the moment it is signed. If Trump follows through, it could trigger the biggest constitutional showdown over voting rights in modern American history. The announcement comes just 14 months before the 2026 midterms, which will serve as the first national referendum on Trump's second term. Democrats see this as nothing less than an authoritarian power grab, while Republicans are already celebrating the announcement as a strike for so-called election security. Bottom line, Trump's midnight decree has thrown the future of voting rights and the very balance of power between states and the presidency into total chaos. This story is only beginning. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.